Okay, class number 26. Let's get started. Empezamos. Shall we start? All right. Let's start with a general review going over what we saw in the last class. Okay, camera. Yeah, okay. In the last class, I spoke about my wife. I spoke about my son. I spoke about my daughter, but I didn't speak about Maria. And I didn't speak about the lights in this studio. I spoke about my watch, but I didn't speak about my ring. I spoke about these pencils, but I didn't speak about these pens. I spoke about Spain, but I didn't speak about these lighters. So I spoke about several things, but I didn't speak about other things. Okay, I didn't speak, I spoke. I didn't speak, I spoke. Did you speak? Do you speak? Do you speak French? Do you speak German? Do you speak Italian? Do you speak Spanish? How well do you speak English? Do you speak English as well as I do? Do you speak English as well as the President of Spain? Probably better. Do you speak English often? Do you speak English every day? Do you speak English in important situations or in routine situations? Do you speak English regularly? Do you speak English only from time to time? Only every once in a while? Only now and again? How often do you speak English? Did you speak English when you were a child? Did you speak French when you were a teenager? Did you speak German last week? How many different languages did you speak last week? All right. Did you speak to me about your English problems yesterday? Did you speak to me? No solemos decir speak with. Quizás casi jamás decimos speak with. Existe, pero recordad, speak to. Speak to me. Speak to me. Okay? Talk to me sería conversa conmigo. Conversemos. Speak to me is hábleme. Hable conmigo. Casi como un robot. Mr. Robot, speak to me. Okay? Did you speak to me yesterday about the problems in the Middle East? Did you speak to me yesterday about the problems in Albania? Did we speak to each other yesterday? Did we speak to each other last week? Ask me if I spoke to my wife before this class. Richard, did you speak to your wife before this class? No, I didn't. I didn't speak to her. I didn't speak to her before this class. Ask me when the last time was I spoke to my wife. Richard, when was the last time? When was the last time? When was the last time you spoke? No decimos did you speak, porque la pregunta no es did you speak, la pregunta es when was the last time? When was the last time you spoke to your wife? The last time I spoke to my wife was about 2 hours ago. And did you speak to her face to face or on the phone? I spoke to her on the phone. También se admite over the phone. I spoke to her over the phone. Lo que no se admite es by phone. I spoke to my wife over the phone. I spoke to my wife on the phone. And what did you speak about 2 hours ago? We spoke about groceries. Excuse me, what did you speak about? We spoke about groceries. Groceries? What are groceries? How do you say groceries in Spanish? How do you say groceries in Spanish? Groceries are productos de comida que se compran, ultramarinos or comestibles. We spoke about groceries. Why did you speak about groceries? Oh, because my wife was in the supermarket. When I called her When I spoke to my wife on the phone, she was in a grocery store. A grocery store? What's that? It's a supermarket, a grocery store. Well, what was she doing? What was your wife doing? What was your wife doing in a grocery store? Well, what do you think? She was shopping. She was buying groceries. And you called her. No, she called me. Well, why? Because she wanted to know something. Your wife wanted to know something. Yes. Well, what did she want to know? Why did she want to speak to you? Because she wanted to know if I needed more razor blades. Razor blades? Yes. You see, every day I shave. La, 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 la. And I use a manual razor. Es escrito razor. Viene un poco de la palabra rasurar, o del mismo origen latina. Okay? So, I use a manual razor, and the razor has blades, cuchillas, blades escrito, blades. Okay, I don't use an electric shaver. I don't use an electric shaver. I use a manual razor. And your wife spoke to you on the phone about razors? Yes. She was at the grocery store, and she called me, and she spoke to me on the phone, and she asked me if I needed more razors because she was at the supermarket, and the supermarket sells razor blades. Oh, okay. That's an interesting conversation. How long did you speak to her? Well, I spoke to her for less than a minute. Did you speak to her from your office? No, I didn't. Did you speak to her from the street? No, I didn't. Oh, where did you speak to her from? I spoke to her from a meeting room. Ah, were you in a meeting when she called you? Could you repeat the question? Were you in a meeting when she called you? Yes, I was. What was the meeting about? You're a little nosy, you know. Ruidoso? Noisy? No. No he dicho noisy. I didn't say noisy. I said nosy. You're a little nosy. Nosy? What does nosy mean? De meter la nariz en asuntos ajenos. Cotilla. Fisgón. It's nosy. You're a little nosy. In the next class, in the next segment, we'll talk about this, okay? But for the moment, another teacher.
Hello everyone, I'm Natasha, your teacher, and today I'm here with a very special student, Mamin. Let's meet Mamin. How are you?
G'day, Natasha.
Good. She gets 100 points. Do you know why? Because she said hello in the Australian way. I want you to say it at home as well. G'day. Yeah, g'day. How are you? Okay, let's see how Mamin is. Okay, how are you, Mamin?
Fine,
I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
You remembered how to say hello in the Australian way.
Yes.
Now you have to go to Australia to practice it.
Yes, of course.
Okay. Okay, for you at home, today we're going to review everything you saw in the previous class, okay? It's a lot to review, so we're going to start straight away, enseguida, straight away. Are you ready? Of course you are. Okay. First of all, I'm going to ask you a lot of different questions, Mamin, with speak, and what's the past of speak?
Spoke.
Spoke. Very good. Careful with the pronunciation. Mamin said it perfectly, but you at home, remember, spoke, as if, como si tuviese una U. Spoke. Spoke. I want to hear it at home. Come on. Louder. Come on, louder. Very good. Okay, speak and spoke with that U sound, okay? Let's start. Are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Did you speak to him yesterday?
Yes, I spoke to him yesterday.
Very good pronunciation. Okay, you at home, did you speak to him yesterday? Yes, I spoke to him yesterday. Very good pronunciation. Okay, Mum, in the next one. Do you speak Spanish every day?
Yes, I speak Spanish every day.
Okay, very good. This is like a tongue twister because there are a lot of S sounds, okay? But remember, it's very important. It's never es speak, okay? And it's never es Spanish, okay? Do you speak Spanish every day like a snake, okay? Do you speak Spanish every day? How about you at home? Do you speak Spanish every day? Say it. Very good. Yes, I speak Spanish every day. Let's see if Mum can repeat. Repeat and exaggerate the S sound, please.
Okay, I speak Spanish every day.
Perfect pronunciation. Next one. Did you speak English last week?
Yes, I spoke English last week.
Okay, say it again.
Yes, I spoke English last week.
Very good pronunciation. Yes, I spoke English last week. You at home, did you speak English last week? Very good. Yes, I spoke English last week. Very good work, okay? Next one. Do you speak on the phone every day?
Yes, I speak on the phone every day.
Okay, now say speak, but
I
we don't exaggerate it, okay?
I speak on the phone every day.
Very good pronunciation. The next question is for you at home. Did I speak to you about Australia last week? Very good. Yes, you, so me, you spoke to me about Australia last week. Spoke with that pronunciation. Say it again. Very good. The last question, okay? Do you speak French well?
Yes, I speak French well.
Yeah, and this is true because you
Yes.
told me she speaks French well. And you? Very good. Okay, the next thing we're going to practice, okay? Indirect questions, okay? I'm going to say the question in the direct form, and you and Mum at home have to turn it into an indirect question with do you know, okay? Remember, we're practicing indirect questions with how and which. Are you ready at home? Are you sure? Okay, very good. Mamin, how is he?
Do you know how he is?
Very good. Okay, so remember, how is he? You have the verb and then the subject. Indirect question, do you know how he is? So say it at home. How is he? Indirect question. Very good. Do you know how he is? Very good. The next one for you at home, okay? Which one is it? Very good. Do you know which one it is, okay? So very good. You got that one right. Let's see if Mum can do it. So the same sentence. Which one is it?
Do you know which one it is?
Very good. Okay, the next one. The next one's a little bit tricky. Which one is mine?
Do you know which one?
It's tricky, this one. It's the same. Do you know which one is mine?
mine.
Because mine isn't the subject, so we don't have to change the order. Okay?
Okay.
If it were the subject, we would change the order, but in this case, it isn't. So, which one is mine?
Do you know which one is mine?
Very good. How is she feeling?
Do you know how he feels?
She
She
is-
is feeling.
Very good. Again.
Do you know how he is feeling?
She.
She is feeling.
Again.
Do you know how she is feeling?
Very good. Now say it again and contract.
Do you know how he is feeling?
She's.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't worry.
Yes. Do you know how she is feeling?
Very good. She's feeling. It's very important to contract. Remember, it's grammatically correct not to contract, but it's much more natural to contract. So, you at home, okay? How is she feeling? Indirect way. Very good. Do you know how she is feeling? And contracted, do you know how she's feeling? Okay, next one. How do you clean this?
Do you know how you clean it?
Very good, because you don't have to formulate
Yes,
the question.
it's
So
true.
say it again.
Do you know how you clean it? This.
Do you know how you
You clean this?
One more time.
Do you know how you clean this?
Very good, very good. Thank you very much, Mamin. And you at home, promise me you're going to study. I'll see you next time. Bye.
Hello and welcome. Hello, and welcome back to another segment. I'm having trouble talking now because I'm hoarse. I'm hoarse, and I'm having trouble talking. I'm hoarse. No. I'm not a horse. That's a caballo. I'm hoarse. afónico. I'm having trouble expressing myself today. I'm having trouble speaking. But I need to work. So let's change to camera number 1, okay? 1, 2, 3. Oh, now I feel better. With camera number 2, sometimes I have trouble speaking. I don't always have trouble speaking, but with camera number 2, for some reason, I don't know why, I have trouble expressing myself. Usually I don't have trouble speaking. Usually I can express myself quite eloquently and improvise well, but with camera number 2, it's a jinx. Okay, a jinx means it's hechizado, es un hechizo, it's something, it's a jinx, it's gafe. I have trouble expressing myself. I have trouble, okay? And I need to teach every segment for 8 minutes. Sometimes I have trouble filling those 8 minutes with relevant content. Yes, excuse me, I need to smoke a cigarette. Excuse me. I'm having trouble lighting my cigarette. The lighter does, apparently, al parecer, apparently the lighter doesn't work. I'm having trouble lighting my cigarette. Maybe I should try another lighter, okay? I have another lighter. I have 2 lighters. I always carry 2 lighters, por si acaso. I always carry 2 lighters just in case. So, which lighter is bigger? The one in my left hand or the one in my right hand? Clearly, the one in my left hand is bigger. Now, which one doesn't work? The one in my left hand or the one in my right hand? You don't know. Well, at least we know that the one in my right hand doesn't work. So let's try the one in my left hand, okay, which is now in my right hand. With the other one, I was having trouble lighting my cigarette. Let's try with this one. Okay, yeah, I don't smoke, but I know how to light cigarettes, okay? And so with one of them, with one of the lighters, I had trouble lighting the cigarette. In fact, I couldn't light my cigarette. But with the other one, no problem. With the big one, no problem. With the small one, I had trouble. To have trouble. 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 Estoy diciendo una palabra que se escribe trouble. Trouble. Y siempre, bueno, siempre no, pero casi siempre aparece en singular. No ves una S al final de trouble. No ves troubles. Tiene un poco de otro significado cuando tiene S. Es más literario poético. Troubles. Okay? Trouble. To have trouble. Y con el verbo to have delante. To have trouble. To have trouble. To have trouble. Más gerundio. To have trouble. Ay, es que esta taza pesa un montón. Why do you give me such a heavy cup? This probably weighs 6 kilos. I have trouble picking it up. Oh, yeah. Y me duele la garganta cantidad hoy. I have a sore throat and it hurts. I have trouble swallowing. Today, I'm having trouble lighting my cigarette. In camera 2, I was having trouble speaking. And now I'm having trouble picking up the cup. And, I have trouble, or I'm having trouble swallowing. Okay? When I came to Spain, the first time in my life, I could speak Spanish. I was 20 years old, but I had a lot of trouble. I had a lot of trouble understanding people. I couldn't understand people usually, so I had trouble understanding people. Are you having trouble understanding me now? Do you have trouble understanding some of the teachers on this program? Okay, la expresión to have trouble. To have trouble. Más gerundio. To have trouble going. To have trouble walking. To have trouble breathing. I'm having trouble. Es el equivalente. Equivalentísimo. Es exactamente igual que la expresión en español, socorrida expresión, costar trabajo. Donde decís aquí, me cuesta trabajo llegar a fin de mes, por ejemplo, en inglés usamos I have trouble. I have trouble. Okay. ¿Qué significa I have problems? Bueno, I have troubles que me cuesta. I have trouble making ends meet, que es la forma de llegar a fin de mes. I have trouble understanding you. I have trouble finishing these programs well sometimes. I have trouble, yes, I have trouble getting up in the morning. Que me cuesta levantarme por la mañana. Me cuesta horrores levantarme. I have trouble, a lot of trouble getting up in the morning. And then at night, when I go to bed, I have trouble falling asleep. I'm turning and tossing on the bed, one side, the other, trying to go to sleep, and I can't. Last night, I went to bed at 11:45, 11:45, almost midnight, and finally I managed, logré, finally I managed to go to sleep around 2 o'clock. It took me 2 hours and 15 minutes to go to sleep. So last night, I had a lot of trouble going to sleep. Every night I have trouble going to sleep. I have trouble doing a lot of things. I have trouble getting up in the morning. I often have trouble starting my car. I have an old car that doesn't start. My God, I have trouble. I have trouble starting my car. And then I have trouble getting to work on time. And my boss always gets upset. He's waiting for me and says, "You're late again. Llegas tarde de nuevo. You are late." Llegas tarde is to be late. You are late. You're late again. I have trouble getting to work on time. I have trouble finishing my work before the specified time. I have trouble doing a lot of things. To have trouble. Más gerundios. La forma en inglés, costar trabajo. Ayer me costó trabajo dormirme. Yesterday I had trouble going to sleep. Y esta noche me costará seguramente trabajo dormirme. And tonight, I'll probably have trouble going to sleep. Recordad esa expresión. Se usa a diario y es muy socorrido y tremendamente importante. To have trouble. Se usa muchísimo en la vida laboral, profesional, personal y en todos los ámbitos. To have trouble plus the gerund. Okay, and now our sponsors have a few words and I'll be right back. Okay, to have trouble. I'm having trouble. I'm having trouble concentrating today. I'm having trouble keeping my eyes on the camera because last night I had trouble going to sleep. O bien, I had trouble falling asleep. And I didn't sleep many hours. I slept about 4 hours. And so today my eyes are tired. And all these lights, I'm having trouble focusing on the camera. I'm having trouble concentrating on my material. I'm having trouble expressing myself today. I'm having trouble doing everything. So, be patient with me. And if you're having trouble improving with your English, then you need to make a stronger effort. And if you have trouble finding time to study, then you need to find a way to find more time. That's the key, time and effort. Okay, another teacher, and then me.
Thank you, Richard. It's me. My name's David Waddell, and I'm here to teach you some English. So, today I'm here with Luca, my favorite pupil. How are you today, Luca?
Am I really your favorite pupil?
Of course you are. Claro que sí. Of course you are.
Thank you.
How are you
Okay.
today?
Fine, thanks.
You're well?
Yes,
And are you ready to work hard?
yes.
As always, como siempre. Muy bien. Okay. Today we're going to look at a very curious, very strange expression. Because it's how we say nos cuesta hacer algo. Me cuesta hacer esto. Yeah?
To have trouble?
To have trouble. Now, muchas personas dicen, I have problems. I have problems to do something. Esto suena mal, yeah? Nunca decimos, I have problems to do something. It's I have trouble. I have trouble, más gerundio. I have trouble doing something. I have trouble speaking Spanish, which is very, very true. I have trouble. Me cuesta mucho, pero ustedes son muy, muy amables y da igual, ¿no? Pero I have trouble speaking Spanish. I have trouble speaking Spanish. And sometimes, I guess, you have trouble speaking English too. It's natural, no?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, okay. So, have trouble. And it's very important to listen to the pronunciation. Trouble, trouble, trouble. Con la boca abierta. Trouble, not trouble, 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 trouble. Y con la B, trouble, trouble. Yeah?
Trouble,
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 trouble.
trouble.
I have trouble.
I have trouble.
Muy bien. Very, very good. In casa? I have trouble. I have trouble. I have trouble speaking English. I have trouble speaking Spanish. Okay, so I'm going to ask you some questions, Luca and at home. So, do you have trouble, Mazarundio, do you have trouble getting up in the morning? Do you have trouble getting up in the morning? Luca, do you have trouble getting up in the morning?
Yes, yes, I have trouble getting up in the morning.
Good, I have trouble getting up in the morning. Do you, in casa, do you have trouble getting up in the morning? Yes, I have trouble getting up in the morning. Now, here you could, if you wanted to, añadir la palabra any. Do you have any trouble?
Okay.
But da igual. Yeah, it is.
And you would say, I don't have any trouble.
Yeah, exactly. I don't have trouble or I don't have any trouble. No es exactamente, no tienes que ponerlo, pero
Okay.
si quieres puedes. Okay, another one. So yes, I have trouble getting up in the morning. You have trouble getting up in the morning. I have trouble getting up in the morning. All of us have trouble getting up in the morning. It's natural, isn't it? I mean, you feel it's so warm in your bed and you think, oh God, I have to work.
It depends what are you going to do.
It depends, yeah, it depends. If it's something wonderful, then you want to get up. But normally I have trouble getting up in the mornings.
Me too.
Okay, yeah, I think everyone does, normally. Okay, do you have trouble, the next question, do you have trouble waking up in the morning? Waking up. Now, we wake up before we get up, of course. We get up, levantarse, but to wake up is despertarse. So do you have trouble waking up in the morning?
Yes, I have trouble waking up in the morning.
Good. Yes, I have trouble waking up in the morning. One more time.
Yes, I have trouble getting
Waking up.
Waking up in the morning.
Yeah, and now I want you to say trouble más exageradamente.
Trouble.
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 Así.
Trouble.
Muy bien, muy bien. Okay, dilo otra vez.
Yes,
Yes, I have trouble waking up in the morning.
I have trouble waking up in the morning.
Muy bien. No decimos I have problems to get up. I have problems to get up. No. I have problems. No. I have trouble. I have trouble getting up or I have trouble waking up in the morning. Okay, another one. Do you have trouble sleeping at night? Do you have trouble sleeping at night?
No, I don't have trouble sleeping at night.
Muy bien. Repítelo otra vez.
No,
Good.
I don't have trouble sleeping at night.
Good, okay. In casa, do you have trouble sleeping at night? ¿Te cuesta dormir? Do you have trouble sleeping at night? Yes, I have trouble sleeping at night, or no, I don't have trouble sleeping at night, or I don't have any trouble sleeping at night. Depende, da igual.
Okay.
Okay, next one. Do you have trouble flying? Flying, ir en avión, yeah? Flying. Do you have trouble flying?
Yes, I have trouble flying on a plane.
In a plane,
In
you'd
a
say,
plane.
or just flying?
Flying.
is
Okay.
sobreentender, yeah? So do you have trouble flying?
Yes, I have trouble flying.
You have trouble flying. You have trouble flying. Okay, now ask me if I have trouble flying.
Do you have do you have trouble flying?
Yes, say put it in. Do you have any trouble or do you have trouble flying? Yes, I have trouble flying too. I have trouble flying too. Now in casa, do you have trouble flying? Do you have trouble flying? Yes, I have trouble flying, or no, I don't have trouble flying, or no, I don't have any trouble flying, los dos. Fine, another one. Ask me if I have trouble learning Spanish.
Do you have trouble learning Spanish?
Again,
Do you have trouble learning
Trouble.
learning Spanish?
muy bien, otra vez.
Do you have trouble learning Spanish?
Muy bien. In casa, ask me if I have trouble learning Spanish. Do you have trouble learning Spanish? Yes, I have trouble learning Spanish. Todavía no sale. No sé por qué. Y llevo muchos años aquí y todavía no, pero soy un poco torpe.
Don't
supongo.
get desperate.
No,
Gracias.
desperate I'm not, don't worry. No pasa nada. Okay, so do you have trouble learning English?
Yes, I have trouble learning English.
Muy bien, repítelo.
Yes, I have trouble learning English.
Muy bien. Okay, en casa, do you have trouble learning English? Yes, I have trouble learning English. Or no, I don't have trouble learning English. Puede que sea muy fácil para ellos, no sé. No sabemos. Bueno, okay. Do you have trouble, Luca, giving up smoking? Now,
Yes.
giving up, ¿cómo se dice give up?
Dejar de fumar.
Dejar de fumar, exactamente. Dejar de fumar. Do you have trouble giving up smoking?
Yes, I have trouble giving up smoking.
Really? Is that
Really,
true?
Really.
Okay, in casa, do you have trouble giving up smoking? Yes, I have trouble giving up smoking. Or no, I don't have trouble giving up smoking. I don't think that's ever. No conozco a nadie que no tiene problemas con dejar de fumar si fuman. Es muy difícil, ¿no?
Yes, it is.
Bueno, one of those things. Okay, do you have trouble doing exercise, going to the gym, doing exercise?
No, I don't have trouble going to the gym.
That's good. Do you go to the gym every day?
No, I don't go to the gym.
I don't think it's not a problem.
Well, but I like doing exercise.
You like doing exercise, so you don't have trouble doing exercise. Some
No, I
people do.
don't.
Some people do, of course, yeah. In casa, do you have trouble doing exercise? No, I don't have trouble doing exercise, or no, or yes, I do have trouble doing exercise. Ask me if I have trouble doing exercise.
Do you have trouble doing exercise?
No, it depends. Normally I don't have trouble doing exercise. Okay, now practícalo en casa, por favor. Es muy importante y os vemos muy pronto, ¿vale? Okay, hasta luego.
Okay. I think if you put on a hat, you will learn more quickly. And if you put on gloves, you'll learn more quickly too. And if you put on two watches, one on your left hand and one on your right hand, I think you'll learn even more quickly. And if we change to camera one, maybe we'll learn even more quickly. So let's change. 1, 2, 3. To put on. To put on. To take off and to put on. To put on. To put is poner, but to put on, literalmente poner en o poner encima o poner sobre, es nuestra forma de decir ponerse algo, ropa, to put on. I put on this shirt before the program. I didn't come here to this studio wearing this shirt. This shirt stays at the studio. And when I get here, I put it on. I put it on in the makeup room where I put on my makeup. I don't put on the makeup myself. I'm not a makeup artist. Are you a makeup artist? Okay. Another person, a young lady, a very attractive, a very attractive young lady puts on my makeup. First she puts on the base, and then she puts on other things. I'm not an expert. But she doesn't put on eyeshadow. Thank God. Gracias a Dios. Thank God. No decimos thanks God. Decimos thank God. Thank God. Como thank you, thank God. She doesn't put on eyeshadow. Sería el colmo. She doesn't put on eyeliner. Thank God she doesn't put on rouge. I don't know how you say that, color. She doesn't put on rouge. She puts on base and something else. So the makeup girl, the makeup artist, puts on the makeup. And then I put on this shirt. And then I come here. And sometimes, between segments of the program, when Alberto or Richard Brown or David Waddell or Kyle Miller, when they're talking, I put on a cowboy hat because I'm from Texas and I'm a cowboy. So I put on a cowboy hat between segments. And here I have 3 cowboy hats. And I have one hat is brown, another hat is white, and another hat is blue. Now, During the last break, I put on the blue hat. And the break before, I put on the red one. Okay? So to put on, to take off. This is a watch. It's my watch. It's mine. And now I'm going to put it on. I'm going to put it on. I'm going to put on my watch. I'm going to put it on in the next 60 seconds. Okay? And you're going to watch me putting it on. Digo watch porque el verbo to watch es ver cuando estás fijando la vista en acción. Look at my watch. Look at it. Ahora es look porque es inanimado. It's not, es still. It's not moving. Pero ahora watch. I'm going to put my watch on. Valga la redundancia. Watch my watch. Okay? I'm putting on my watch. I'm putting it on slowly. I'm not putting it on quickly. I'm putting it on carefully. I'm not putting it on. I'm not putting it on carelessly, de forma descuidada. I'm putting it on carefully. Yeah. Now, my watch is on. It's not off. It's on. And my watch is on because I put it on. And I put it on a few seconds ago. And you watched me putting it on. Do you remember? And I put it on quickly. I didn't put it on slowly. I put it on carefully. I didn't put it on carelessly. And I put it on with my right hand, basically. I didn't put it on with my left hand because it's impossible, physically impossible for me to put on my watch with my left hand, a no ser que, unless I wear my watch on my right wrist. For example, I'll show you. I'm going to take off my watch and I'm going to put it on the other wrist. I'm going to put it on the other wrist. Okay? First, I take it off. I'm taking off my watch. Okay? Now I'm holding my watch in my left hand. Now I'm turning the watch around. I'm turning my watch around, and now I'm putting it on my right wrist. It's difficult, eh? I don't have any practice doing this. My wife wears her watch on her right wrist, and every morning she puts on her watch on her right wrist, and it's strange for me, but apparently she prefers that because all her life she has put on her watch this way. Now I'm going to take, this is strange, I'm going to take off my watch and put it on the other wrist. Wrist is muñeca, wrist. W muda, W muda al principio, wrist, como suena, R-I-S-T. And I'm taking it off. Okay, now I'm holding the watch in my right hand. And now I'm turning the watch around, and now I'm preparing to put it on. But I haven't put it on yet. I'm going to put it on, but I haven't put it on yet. Put it on, put it on, put it on, put it on. Hay que practicar estas partículas hasta reventar para tener un dominio. I haven't put it on yet, but see, I'm going to put it on. And now I have started. I am putting it back on. Añado back porque es de nuevo. Otra vez. I'm putting it back on. Yeah. I'm putting my watch back on. I'm putting my watch back on. And now it's on. It's on the right wrist. No, it's on the left wrist. Yes and no. Now my watch is on the right wrist. Si yo dijera, my watch is on my right wrist, sería un error. Pero he dicho the right wrist, en la muñeca correcta, in the right wrist, which is my right wrist. Las partes del cuerpo en inglés siempre con el adjetivo posesivo. Mi mano está en mi cabeza. My hand is on my head. My watch is on my right wrist, and it's on the right wrist for me. Sorry for the complications at the end. But in any case, I'll see you again in about 8 minutes, all right? So, to another teacher.
Thank you, Richard. Gracias, Richard. Hello, soy Hannah y estoy aquí con vosotros para practicar y poner en práctica lo que acaba de explicar Richard, como siempre. Y también tengo aquí conmigo a Jesús. Hello, Jesús.
Hello, Hannah.
How are you today?
Very well, and you?
I'm fine, thank you. All right, so today we're going to begin with vocabulary. Are you ready? ¿Estás preparado?
Yes, I am.
Okay, very good. Empezamos. The first one is the verb, desatar.
To untie?
Repeat.
To untie?
Okay, to untie.
Untie.
Yes, to untie. Repeat.
To untie.
Okay, muy bien. To untie. Siguiente, tenemos impresora.
Printer.
Repeat.
Printer.
The pronunciation here is a little printer or printer.
Printer.
Yes. Okay, printer. Repeat. Printer.
Printer.
Again.
Printer.
Perfect. Printer. Printer. So the verb imprimir is to print. Impresora is printer. Printer con ER al final. Printer. Again.
Printer.
Muy bien. Siguiente. Tenemos respetable.
Respectable.
Good. Again.
Respectable.
Very good. Respectable. 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 En la segunda sílaba recae el énfasis. Respectable. Muy bien. Siguiente. Tenemos afirmación.
To...
Sustantivo. No es verbo.
Yeah. Yeah.
No afirmar, pero afirmación. Sustantivo.
To statement. Statement.
Repeat. Yeah.
Statement.
Good. Statement.
Statement.
Statement, no. Statement.
Statement.
Yes, empieza con el sonido S de serpiente. Statement. Again.
Statement.
Perfect. Ok, esto es muy común, un error muy común. Mucha gente dice statement, poniendo la E ahí, lo que llamo la E fantasma, que no existe. No deberíamos poner el sonido E antes de esa S, porque no hay. So empezamos con S como serpiente. Statement. Statement. Repeat.
Statement.
Eso es, muy bien. Statement. Statement. Perfecto. Y la última palabra es flota.
Fleet.
Good. Repeat.
Fleet.
Perfect. Fleet. Fleet. Muy bien. Very good. Ahora seguimos. Next, we're going to practice con the phrasal verb to put on. Right? ¿Qué es to put on? Poner algo en tu cuerpo, lo que sea. Puede ser ropa, zapatos, maquillaje, joyería, sombreros, gafas, anything that you put on your body, ¿vale? So here we go. Do you put on a coat when it's cold?
Yes, I put on my coat when it's cold.
Okay, good. Yes, I put on my coat when it's cold. Put on. And remember la clave. ¿Qué es el truco con los phrasal verbs? Es recordar los verbos como si fuera un sonido, ¿no? Put on. No tanto como palabras sueltas, pero un sonido, right? Put on. Yes, I put on a coat when it's cold. Do you put on your watch every morning?
Yes, I put on my watch every morning.
Very good. Repeat.
Yes, I put on my watch every morning.
Okay, good. Yes, I put on my watch every morning. Yes, I put on. ¿Has visto? El sonido es put on, como si fuera una sola palabra. Put on. Yes, I put on my watch every morning. Do you put on your clothes every morning?
Yes, I put on my clothes every morning.
Okay, I hope so.
Yeah.
Espero que sí, porque si no habría multa, ¿no? De la poli. Okay, yes, I put on my clothes, mi ropa, every morning. Do you put on your socks before you put on your shoes?
Yes, I put on my socks before I put on my shoes.
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 Shoes? No, shoes.
Shoes.
El final es S. Shoes.
Shoes.
Yes, eso. Repeat again.
Shoes.
Okay, la frase.
Yes, I put on my socks before I put on my
Shoes.
shoes.
Shoes. Shoes.
Shoes.
Ok, muy bien. Good. Well, I hope so, porque sería incómodo al revés, ¿no? Poner el calcetín después del
Yeah.
zapato. So, yes, I put on my socks before I put on my shoes. Very good. Okay, do you put on makeup in the morning?
No, I don't put on makeup in the morning.
Ok, muy bien, good. So, maquillarse, esto es muy importante. Maquillarse no es to make up. No, eso es otro verbo compuesto, pero tiene otro significado. No es to make up. Ponerse el maquillaje o maquillarse es to put on makeup. Right? Literalmente ponerse el maquillaje. So, to put on makeup. Now, do you put on your ring? Do you have a ring on? No? Ah, no tienes. Okay. Do you put on a hat when you go to the beach? Do you put on a hat when you go to the beach?
No, I don't put on a hat when I go to the beach.
Okay, good. Okay, good. Do you put on sunscreen when you go to the beach? Do you put on sunscreen when you go to the beach?
Yes, I put on sunscreen when I go to the beach.
Okay, bien. Sunscreen is protección solar. So it's very important to put on sunscreen so you don't burn, para que no te quemes. Okay, good. Do you put on glasses when you drive? Do you put on glasses when you drive?
Yes, I put on sunglasses.
Okay,
when I drive.
sunglasses. Very good. Sunglasses, gafas de sol. So, Jesus he puts on sunglasses when he drives. Muy bien. All right, ask me if I put on my clothes in the morning.
Do you put on your clothes in the morning?
Yes, definitely. Absolutely. Positively. I put on my clothes in the morning. Okay, ask me if I put on my watch every day.
Do you put on your watch every day?
Yes, I put on my watch every day. Ask me if I put on my shoes every day.
Do you put on your shoes every day?
Yes, I put on my shoes every day. Ask me if I put on makeup in the morning.
Do you put on makeup in the
Repeat,
morning?
repeat.
Do you put on?
Put on,
Put
put
on.
on.
Do you put on makeup in the morning?
Yes, I put on makeup in the morning. Okay, but sometimes I don't put on makeup. It depends on the day. Depende del día, ¿verdad? Okay, ask me if I put on a coat when it's cold.
Do you put on your coat when it's cold?
Good, repeat.
Do you put on your coat when it's cold?
Okay, very good. Do you put on a coat or your coat when it's cold? Yes, I put on a coat when it's cold. Okay, very good, muy bien. Este verbo to put on es muy útil y ya veréis lo importante que es con las cosas que nos ponemos todos los días. Ahora os dejo con Richard. Bye.
Ya está. Otra clase. Una clase más. One more class. En inglés decimos una más clase. One more class finished, but there are a lot more classes to go. We have a lot left. Nos queda mucho por delante. We have a lot to go. And you need to pay attention and you need to practice. You. Listening to this program is not enough. Maybe it's enjoyable because you say, este tipo que raro es, pero me gusta. All right, y los demás que estamos aquí. But you have to reproduce orally. You have to repeat and repeat and repeat. Okay, put it on, take it off, put it on, take it off. Póntelo, quítatelo, póntelo, quítatelo. Put it on, take it off, put it on, take it off, put it on, take it off. Don't take it off, no te lo quites, no te lo pongas. Español es difícil. Póntelo, no te lo pongas. Quítatelo, no te lo quites. Cambia. Sí, hablando de tú. So, for me, I needed to repeat 1,000 times, and you need to repeat 1,000 times too. I'm sorry, pero es necesario. All right, see you tomorrow.